champ is here! It's just a man! Give me a hell yeah! What the Rock is cooking? To be the man, you have to be the man! Big Papa Pump! It's your hooker! Fallen! And the air! Woo, woo, woo! Cup of coffee in the big time.
The big time. Ooh, yeah.
Day
Love
number what? Day number 1,000 fucking whatever fucking that we still haven't gotten sued or hit with a cease and desist. So
Yeah.
we're still flying high.
You can't sue over fucking voices.
Dave, I can't see you. I don't got my bifocals on. You're looking tiny.
You look good. Pat, did you say he was 5'4"?
No, I think he was. He actually went to go visit Marky. And that's where he's at right now. He's at Marky's house. But it's great to be back. Yeah. With another episode of Working the Marks. I am your host, Patty Nuyorican, legendary wise ass and lovable jerk. And I am joined today by Macho Rodriguez, the Pitbull, not to be confused with Pitbull, the Pitbull.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with Gary Wolf or the other Pitbull, but just the Pitbull.
Got it.
And
Yeah.
we also have Dee Rotten. He's hanging out in Candyland. That's why he's looking so small right now.
Let me speak on this.
Can the viewers see you, or is this just an optical illusion?
This is the producer section right here.
The producer section.
Oh,
All right.
nice. There we go. I like it.
All right. And I'm feeling in the Halloween spirit, as you can tell right here.
Yeah, I could tell.
Got the Halloween shirt on.
Yes.
You said you hated Mach, which is a cult classic.
I never
Cult
knew that.
classic.
We should put that in the chat. We should put that we should put that on the Instagram page. Is that a
somebody
cult
should
classic?
chime in. Yeah, I think our guy Timothy Brown will chime in. And shout out to Timothy Brown. We hear he's been on the mend.
Okay.
Wishing our Work in the Marks top guy Timothy Brown all the best.
Acknowledge
Can't
me.
wait to have you back on the show again. But lots of stuff, as always, to talk about within the wrestling world. I know we did the Payback show. It was great to be on Must Love Wrestling. First time on.
Yeah,
it.
man.
I had my debut on your program, and
Yeah.
I was absolutely thrilled to be on. We had a great review for Fastlane.
Yeah.
I keep confusing Fastlane and fucking Payback. But we had a great review for Fastlane, and if you haven't already, folks, check it out. It's available on Must Love Wrestling, which is also here on Famcast Media, along with many other wonderful podcasts, such as In the Dungeon with Stu Hart. And that's another one that you can check out there as well. But lots of stuff to talk about. D, live in Candyland.
Oh, yes.
What's the haps in the wrestling world?
They call me Tiny today, bro. I'm tiny. I got
Tiny,
some
like Tiny Lister.
Oh, yes.
There you go. Debo. Let's go, Debo.
Before you do this, I'd like to dedicate this segment to Canada Dry Ginger Ale. Before we do this,
Tasty beverage? Is that a tasty beverage?
It is a tasty beverage. As I sit here and I have my Pop-Tarts strawberry frosted because they're delicious.
Wow. What's that about? This is, man, it's got something, eh? Oh, sorry.
Hey,
sorry.
Did Christian give you that?
Christian? No, I had a father. But
Oh, shit.
But
Okay.
that was so dark.
that was like we went dark real fast.
Yeah.
Maybe we should be on the From the Dungeon podcast today.
Oh,
This
yeah.
should be in the dungeon.
You're a shooter there, Dave. You got some real shooters here. Give me a real stretch, eh?
We got shooters on that show. We got shooters.
But D, live from Candyland. What do we got?
Yes, sir. Well, we got this one straight from Macho Rodriguez himself, the man right up there. Said he heard a little bit something, but he's saying, should Dave Meltzer be banned from wrestling circles?
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, so Booker T went on his podcast and he actually said a couple of things today, some pertaining to CM Punk and some pertaining to Dave Meltzer, and he's calling for the banment, the total banishment of Dave Meltzer from the wrestling business altogether. I mean, what do you think?
I mean, look,
Giving him the back.
I mean, who am I to say somebody should be blackballed or not? You know what I'm saying? What I think should happen, like 100%, is that he should report accurate news. Shouldn't be throwing a slant in there because he's buddies with people that run another company. And he should just be honest about what he does and what his star rating is. Some people might say that he's being honest already, right? Most of those people subscribe to the Wrestling Observer newsletter. And, you know, he does have his base that love what he does, love what he says, and feels that his star rating system is very accurate.
Stars.
I, for one, do not. I believe in the empanada system on our show. I think it's a lot more honest.
Yes.
Yeah, agreed.
and I think there's more of a criteria with what we like as opposed to what he likes. You know, he doesn't really detail it very well. And a lot of that stuff is, you know, kind of just his personal favorites. But I mean, look, dude, is he the first liar in the fucking wrestling business? No.
Might be the fifth.
Is he going to be the last one? No. You know what I'm saying? So what is getting rid of this guy going to do? He appeals to a certain portion of the wrestling audience.
Well, hold on,
People
Patrick.
like him.
Patrick, does he want to get rid of him from wrestling?
Thank you.
Period.
Thank you for using my full name, by the way. But yes, do they want him?
Jesus.
Do they want him out of wrestling, period, or just out of certain like topics of wrestling?
I would assume that banishment means like never seen again.
Yeah.
You know, if I mean, I don't have a dictionary handy, but you know,
An urban dictionary, Patty?
off the top of the dome, you know, like just like the way we're raw dogging this show, just calling it on the fly.
Yes.
No, I don't think he should be banned. I mean, look, man, he has a base, but again, Booker's got his reason for feeling the way he does. Maybe there's heat there, maybe there isn't. I don't know, but the guy's a fucking liar, and I think he could definitely do with being a little bit more honest. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree. I as much as I agree with Eric Bischoff and what he's done to wrestling as a whole, kind of made it more toxic, and he's definitely added to the divide of AEW and WWE. I kind of feel like he is a real journalist, right? He went to school for this shit, right? He didn't just pick up a pen and paper and decide he was going to start writing about professional wrestling.
Well, he doesn't do
you know
only
what,
wrestling.
you know what, Macho? Moreover than that, this guy's a wrestling historian, and at one point was a valuable resource for the boys and the girls who were trying to go get booked in different territories, different countries. So we have to give the man his due. You know what I'm saying? Because he has played a part in wrestling history. You know, he has played a part in getting people out there that probably wouldn't have gotten a chance. You know what I'm saying?
Agreed.
Just based on his connections alone. So we have to be able to recognize the man for what he's done right. You know what I'm saying? Now, again, what he says, you know, it depends what side of the coin you're on as far as being a wrestling fan is. But at the very bare minimum, he should be a little bit more transparent, a little bit more honest, and stop stirring the fucking pot. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, I agree with that. I feel like banning him from professional wrestling, I don't think it does anything for us right now. I don't think it does anything for wrestling fans. They're still going to go out there. They're still going to find Sean Ross Sapp. They're still going to go find Brian Alvarez. They're still going to go out there and find Wade Keller. They're going to go out there and look for any news from anybody because nobody wants to be surprised anymore. Everybody wants to know what's happening. Yeah, Billy Body, like same thing. Like, I mean, obviously Billy's the he's the one who's usually right. But Dave Meltzer is the zero news of, you know, wrestling. Like, that's what he is. He might actually be the guy who runs zero news. You never know. That's because that guy's wrong so much.
Macho, do you think Dave Meltzer should be in the WWE Hall of Fame?
Fuck no.
For what?
Yeah, what would he possibly have done to deserve a Hall of Fame induction?
So if we're gonna go with that, then Bill Apter should get in before him.
Oh.
Look up. Bill
Yeah.
Apter should be in.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Bill Apter.
Yeah, I
You know
agree.
what I'm saying? He should be in. If Dave Meltzer is going to be in any type of Hall of Fame for journalism, Bill Apter needs to be in there first. You know what I'm saying? But
Touche.
he's a divisive guy. He's a guy that gets attention for better or for worse.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing, man.
You think he's only doing this because WWE rubbed him the wrong way and kicked him out and didn't let him come backstage and play with the boys anymore?
Maybe his feelings got hurt. You know what I'm saying? But you also got to think that, like, he's got to continue to sell his brand to a younger generation. He's got to continue to sell his brand to a different demographic. You know what I'm saying? Like, AEW attracts fans of different ages, but mainly like, 18 to like 40 something, almost 50 something. You know what I'm saying?
Your boy
attracts.
Disco Inferno said on Dave Meltzer's website for what he charges, he makes about 6 figures a year just from the website alone.
I believe it.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Conrad Thompson. Conrad has actually said that he's been a member of his since the 80s. So I mean, that there's people like that have been members of the Dave. What is it? What is the website called?
The Wrestling Observer newsletter.
The Wrestling Observer.
They used to get that. They used to get an actual paper copy of it. You know what I'm saying? Like that goes way fucking back. But
yeah,
I mean, look, dude. He's a dude who's obviously trying to help AEW out, which makes sense because WWE don't want a part of him. They don't need him. He's keeping himself relevant, man. He's doing his fucking thing. He's working his hustle just like anybody else. But again, I think he could just do with being honest.
He's working the marks.
Yeah,
absolutely right. That's what he's doing, working the marks.
What else we got, D?
All right, now the next topic over here, we got Brian Pillman. We all know he's going to NXT.
Junior.
Brian Pillman Jr. I'm sorry. Brian Pillman Jr. is going to NXT. And there's a rumor going around that he might not be Brian Pillman Jr. when he goes there. He might be Lexis King.
I mean, look, I don't hate it. Only for the fact that it's like, yo, if this doesn't work out for this guy, then he could just take his real name and go somewhere else. So
why change his real name? His real name is Money.
No, it isn't money. You don't know that because what fucking wrestling fan nowadays, what average wrestling fan, what casual wrestling fan knows who fucking Brian Pillman is?
You too.
People like us do because we've been fucking watching it forever. But your average run-of-the-mill young wrestling fan doesn't know who fucking Brian Pillman is unless they've been fucking told or they've watched them. So, that in itself, they have to try and get over. The other thing, too, is I've always been a fan of guys getting over on their own. You know what I'm saying?
It's his own name. You can't just hinder him from the
what is he's kind of played up to his dad's shtick, man. I think this is a fresh start for him.
Yeah,
I think this is an opportunity.
Like
for
Braun
him
Breaker.
Yeah.
He went to it. That was his choice. That wasn't their choice. They wanted him to be a Steiner. He said no.
Wow.
Dude,
that was his choice.
He's doing it on his own. He's making it on his own. I mean, look, Randy Orton could have come out there and been Cowboy Randy Orton. Could have come out there with a cast for like fucking 10 years. You know, he could have done that. He could have done that whole shtick. He could have done it too. You know what I'm saying?
But that is the perfect example of someone who kept the name, but decided that he was going to make it his own.
It's because he was hearing voices in his head, bro.
So, like, if Brian Pillman decided I'm going to go out there and I'm just going to be myself and not be Brian Pillman Jr. and not be the loose cannon, then I think it would work for him. But right now, he's trying to mimic everything his dad did.
But he's got his dad's genetics, bro. Loose cannon's in the blood.
I understand that, but this is a fresh start for him. You know what I'm saying? He's done the loose cannon look on the indies. He's done the whole varsity whatever whatever blondes tag team that he's done. He's done all that.
Varsity Club, bring that back.
He's emulated his dad already, and I think that this is a chance for him to carve out his own legacy for himself, to be his own man, and to do his own thing, and to stand on his own. And you know what? Cool. Let's go.
Sign his own checks.
Let's see. If it does turn into something similar to his dad later on, great.
But I mean, come on, Lexis King though. It kind of sounds like the Tiger King. He got the mullet look. What is he gonna do? Fucking have tigers or something?
Yo, right now that's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like. But in 10 years from now, what is it gonna sound like? What are you gonna think when you hear that name? You know what I'm saying? We don't know yet. We don't know.
Yeah.
We just don't know. So I think this is good for him. I think this is a fresh start. I know that there's a lot of hardcores that are going to be like, you should just be Brian Pillman Jr., but he's done it already.
Yeah.
He's done it already. That's it.
Absolutely.
This is his fresh start at being his own man and doing his own thing. Let's see what's up.
He did it in the AEW.
All right.
God.
Hey, at least you're not spelling anything. So, I think that's a far worse criminal offense than what you just did.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Your bad spelling.
Yes.
Oh my God, man.
So what else do we got, Demon?
Hold on 1 second here. We got I got somebody trying to talk to me here. But we got some of the boys in the back. Some of the boys in the back of WWE have been you know how loose lips sink ships, but you can't sink Endeavor, bro. That's a fucking Titanic, bro, of all ships. Knock on wood. But there's some boys in the back saying that Triple H has full control over creative. Vince McMahon has nothing. He's not allowed to say nothing. He's off of the creative thing.
I mean, I think that's pretty obvious. We're watching it. We're seeing his wrestlers be out there. We know who were Vince's people. We know who are Triple H's people. You could see Karrion Kross continues to get a shot on television. That wasn't one of Vince's guys. You can kind of see Seth Rollins is Triple H's guy.
I hear in your voice you don't like some Karrion Kross there.
Oh, no, I love Karrion Kross. I wish he was rocking that instead of whatever stupid gimmick he's doing right now. But that's just me.
Oh, you want a Boricua Kross?
I think he would be amazing as that. Yeah, 100%. Especially with like if he used like the jiu-jitsu stuff. Yeah, we could talk about that another day. But yeah, I mean, when I look at what the roster, the way it's constructed, the way the women are being used, when I look at wrestling as a whole right now, there's nothing that screams Vince McMahon to me at all. Just the fact that he created this. That's what screams it to me. But other than that, this is all Triple H's idea. This is pretty much NXT on the main roster. That's what we're watching.
Ooh. I don't know what the big fucking surprise is, but this has been like this for a long time already. Like Vince had input, like final say, or Vince had final say more so with the bloodline. Everything else was Triple H, and it's been Triple H for a year plus. Now the smoke is cleared, and there's no more conspiracy theories to peddle out there that Vince is secretly hanging out in a fucking room, and he's being held up by that thing that held up Palpatine in episode 9 and all this other shit. Like there's none of that going on. It's been Triple H. It's been fucking evident if you watch the programming and you see who's getting pushed to Macho's point. So, I mean, whether it's Triple H, whether it's Vince McMahon, it don't make a lick of difference. The product is firing on all cylinders right now. They're the best they've been in a fucking long time, and the future is going to get brighter, especially the closer we get to WrestleMania.
So, are you guys right now, bro? What do you giving Paul here for his time being as head of creative? Are you giving it what from 1 to 5? What are you giving Paul? Levesque, like
a solid 4.
A 4.
4? Yeah,
I'm gonna go with 4 too, and I'm gonna say that I'll give him a 5 if CM Punk shows up. I'll give him a 5, and I'll give him a 5, not just because he would have pulled a rabbit out of a hat, which he's actually helped do before. I mean, bringing Bruno back, fucking bringing Warrior back.
Brought back Dollar, dude. He brought back Dollar.
Yeah. You think that's an easy feat? No, it's not an easy feat at all. So I think if he brings back Punk and he adds Punk to WrestleMania, stack it even further to make it even
Macho, you gonna go to that WrestleMania, bro? Punk's there?
No question.
In your backyard.
Yeah, that's my son's birthday too. Like, we're going.
In your backyard, man.
Nice.
Yeah,
I'm on the fence still. I'll see how I feel, but
so a 5 if he brings in Phil. He's not calling him Punk.
A 5 if he brings in Phil, because he'll be pulling the ultimate rabbit out of a hat. Ooh. And more importantly, I think that would be such a hard fuck you to AEW that I think Khan could get worse. I think he'd become a little more unhinged online. And look,
it might be the Wrath of Khan.
I say it all the time, but I respect what Tony Khan's done. The Wrath of Khan. That's funny. He's, I respect what he's done. He's employed people. He's provided an alternative fucking product. He's done all this stuff. I don't hold anything against the guy. I don't feel like he's a bad person.
Okay.
I just think he's made some poor decisions, and I think that
in the back room, with a straw.
Well, I don't know about all that, but hypothetically, some people say that he is the snowman. But that's just a rumor. But I just think at the end of the day, like, the guy has done the best that he could to try and do something different. And unfortunately, I just don't think that he was ready to be in that position. And unfortunately, some of his behavior online is fucking indicative of that fact. You know, you look at it, man, you see the way he acts. Even today, you know, the kind of stuff that he did, the message exchanges that like these fans were like gassing him up. And he said something like about Triple H, calling Shawn Michaels a bald asshole and all this shit. Like, bro, like, why do you care? Like, what happened to your original ethos about being an alternative? Like, not
you know
trying to
why?
do anything else,
Because there's no filter nowadays. There's no respect anymore, and he's playing into today's mantra. Right now, this is how people are. They're just like, oh man, I'll say whatever I want to you. I'll say however I want it to you. There's no filter. And him saying bald asshole, it's kind of like it's the MJF effect. Like, oh, MJF could go out there and he could say all the trigger words and he could say all of those like low hanging fruit and all the cheap pop shit, and
he shouldn't
fancy that shit up.
He shouldn't be concerned though. You know what I'm saying?
No.
He shouldn't give a rat's ass about what they're doing. He should be so focused on his own product and putting on the best show that he could that he doesn't care what anybody else is. Why he chooses to engage fans online is beyond me. And look, WWE wrestlers do it sometimes. Sometimes.
Yeah.
Not
Randy
all the
Orton. I heard Randy Orton's trolling him.
Randy Orton. There's tons of guys. There's tons of guys that have done it, right? That they've had interactions, but with fans, I'm talking about specifically.
Yes.
But the point is like, you're the fucking CEO of this company. You own a Premier League team. You own a fucking NFL team. And this is how you're acting? This is how you're acting? Like, it's fucking stupid, man. Bro. Just be a fucking adult. Focus on your own product. Maybe your product wouldn't stink so much if you paid more attention to it instead of worrying about some sort of imaginary war.
I mean, but when you got guys like Randy Orton trolling you, Randy Orton's been trolling Khan on Twitter, bro.
Well, he did this before, though. This was years ago. So, I mean, this was like, whatever. Like, that's like small potatoes. My whole thing isn't so much like, you know, going back and forth with the boys. Because, you could do that in a kayfabe way where it's cool. And we've seen it before. Between talents, you know. But it's just like, you're the fucking CEO, dude. Your office. You're the booker. Why do you care what some fucking Mark has to say about you?
Exactly.
Why?
Exactly.
Why? You know what I'm saying? Like, you could set his weekly paycheck on fire in front of him and still be all right for the rest of your life.
Yes.
Meanwhile, that guy's got to go to work and bust his ass.
Yes.
And you really give a rat's ass what this guy fucking thinks about you?
Exactly. You should send him a check.
It's immature. And it's not something that somebody who's leading a company should be fucking doing.
Well, speaking of fucking immature, our boy Phil Brooks got both of you guys blocked on Instagram.
Not personal.
Not personally, but got both of your podcast pages blocked on Instagram. What's the haps, man? What's the haps?
I know Mach has a lot to say about this. So.
Well, to be fair, my co-host on Must Love Wrestling, Tyler, he did call him a crybaby a couple of times on our podcast. So all I know is for you to block someone's Instagram page without them ever posting a single thing about you on Instagram,
without them even liking your damn page.
Well, that's the thing. That to me tells me this motherfucker listened to our podcasts. That's what that tells me. He listened to our podcasts. Yeah. There's no other way. You don't just like see somebody and be like, you know what? Block these guys. I don't know who they are. They're just logos.
I think he has like a general rule of thumb probably where he just blocks anything. The other thing that I was thinking too was that Billy Body, because we do mention Billy Body on here. We do cite him as a news source, right?
You love him. You say he's your man.
I've never said anything like that. I just say that he's the most reliable news guy out there. I've never met him. I don't know anything about him. I listen to what he's got to say. He has views that are controversial, whatever. That's his life. That's how he chooses to fucking be. That's him. Fine. But as far as wrestling news is concerned, the guy knows what he's talking about. So a while back ago, there was an issue where CM Punk was, he stood up for human rights and he held up a sign supporting, transgender people. Yes. And Billy Body had basically posted something implying that he was a pedophile with an image. You didn't say that. And he sent Billy Body a cease and desist.
Oh.
And he, threatened to sue him and all that stuff. And I mean,
Punk loves suing people. I mean,
whatever,
Bill.
whatever, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look, I understand both sides. Like, I understand the side of like, yo, it's a fucking joke, bro. Like, relax. But then I also understand the other side of like, you don't fucking call me that. You know,
That's a
like,
pretty harsh joke.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
not something that you want to be called at all. You know what I'm saying? And especially nowadays, where people will latch
Patty
on to stuff like
Norican,
that,
Patty
you know?
Norican, how do you feel personally knowing that your podcast page and you, Macho Rodriguez, blocked? You feeling slighted in any way?
Thanks for watching.
I mean, yeah, thanks for watching and thanks for getting our name out there.
Is he against Puerto
Thanks
Ricans?
for blocking us. Hey, look, man, at the end of the day, I respect him a lot. If he feels the need to have to block us, that's it. That's what it is. You know?
If I may, I would like to do an
I ain't mad at you.
impromptu segment. How can I may I recommend an impromptu segment? I have promised some of our fans from Must Love Wrestling and from Working the Marks. Pat, you once told me a story and I didn't tell your story. But I would like you to tell our fans about the time that you and Bernie saved CM Punk's life.
Bernie, who's Bernie?
All right. First of all, I don't think that we saved his life in any type
Come
of
on,
way.
bro. If you wouldn't have found him, he would have died.
Look, I
was
think
he in the
somebody
hood?
I think somebody would have found him. So it was the Jersey Jacob. He was wrestling at the Rexplex in Elizabeth. My cousin and I were doing ring crew for JCW. at the
Elizabeth.
time.
Ooh, that's
And
raw.
we were you know, we had worked out in the ring. We had met him in Copacabana. They were super fucking cool. Punk was super cool. Fucking shook everybody's hand, like mad fucking nice guy, you know. We had dug his work. We had seen a few tapes of him back in the day from like IWA with fucking Ian Rotten and shit. And we were like, yo, this
My
dude's
cousin.
good. You know, we had also seen him we had also seen him at Shikara with Quack and with fucking Reckless and Montoya
Macho's
and all
cousin.
that Black T-shirt squad. So we were like, yo, this dude's super talented. Like he's interesting. You know, there was something to him. Like he had an aura to him, you know. And you know, he wrestled the J Cup. I believe he had a match with Reckless Youth. And I don't know if it was from a blockbuster or if it was from the helo to the outside, because he hit a helo to the outside. But yo, he smacked super hard on that. And then I think it was a blockbuster or something like that. That he took like
The
it was
video
a really
store?
messed up bump where we're like, no. I think like
The Buff Bagwell move.
Reckless Youth bumped on Punk's head. That's what it was.
Oof.
He took a bump on his head. Yeah, it was brutal. And I was like, oh man. So then like Punk, I think he finished the match. And I don't remember if he won or not, but I do remember that at the end of the match he took a chair, a folding chair. And he
A
used
concerto?
He used it as a walker. He was pretending to walk because he was like fucked up and he was selling it. You know, me and Bernie thought it was funny. So he walks through the curtain and we're like, yo, good shit, man, good match. He's like, oh, thanks, you know, whatever. And then he just goes. But he seemed like, I don't know, he seemed like weird, you know? So he goes back up. I remember he came back downstairs and, you know, I think he had a towel around him. He was still in his gear. And the Rexplex, I don't know if you guys ever been there before, if, you know, any of our listeners have been there before, but it was like a soccer field, like an ice rink.
I went to a concert there once.
It was like, yeah, it was like a bunch of shit. And then it was like, there was also video games and like, it was an event center. It had a lot of shit going on. But there was this dock and the show itself had taken place inside one of the hockey rinks, right? So I remember he had walked to this dock that was like right behind where we were. And I see him walking and he's kind of like standing there and he leans up against the wall and then he just slides down and falls on his ass.
Ooh.
And I'm like, yo, what's going on there? And me and my cousin had seen it. And when we went over by him, he was like throwing up. He's throwing up this clear fluid, like it looked like, you know? And I was like, what the fuck, yo? Like at the time, I didn't fucking know what was going on. But I was just like, yo, get his boy, get Cabana, get Ricky.
Yeah.
Because he was still friends with Colt Cabana at the time.
Yeah.
And he got the promoter and he got Colt. And they came and they were like, all right, we got him. We'll take him from here. And I just stayed there with him. But I just remember seeing him sitting there. And he was like all fucked up, man. Like he was like passed out, like basically. But he was like sitting there like
having
like
a
breathing,
seizure?
you know? Kind of, but like I don't know what was going on, man. You know, I was fucking young. I was like fucking like 17 or 18 years old. I don't know what the fuck was going on. I just knew this guy was like he needed help. That was it. Like I was just like, yo, he needs help. So you know, I went and I just, you know, we got the promoter and that was it. And then he went and they took him and they put him on the fucking gurney. And I was like, damn, yo, this fucking dude, like, that's crazy, you know? We didn't know what had happened, but we found out later that, you know, he fractured his skull. So, like, you know, it's fucking crazy. He might have been having seizures, but, you know, I might have had a concussion. I don't know shit. I ain't no fucking neurologist and I'm not going to pretend to be one. You know what I'm saying? But it was crazy, dude. It was fucking scary, man. And, I remember I saw him like some months later, man, you know, and I was just like, hey, man, you know, like I saw what happened, blah, blah, blah. And we like chit chatted quick, but I didn't get a chance to tell him, like, you know, and I didn't really feel like saying, like, me and my cousin found you, you know, like some fucking Mark. Like, I'm not going to do that shit. So, but yeah, no, that is what happened. And,
you hear that, Phil?
it was
and
pretty
this is
wild.
how you repay this fucking Patty Norican?
Oh, stop. You don't owe me anything. Nobody owes me anything.
Maybe
It's
a
just fucking
sandwich?
story of something that I remember involving the
Some
guy.
Cubs tickets? Some Cubby tickets?
Like I
A
said,
night with his wife.
if he wants to ban us,
That's why you're banned, Macho, you jerk off.
block us, whatever. Everybody's entitled to fucking block us or follow us. I don't care.
Yeah, absolutely. And I like Larry,
Okay.
you motherfucker. Your dog's cooler than you.
Ooh, you hear that, Bill?
That's cool.
Larry's got spots on our podcast.
Whatever, yo.
yeah.
Everybody's gonna mark out when Cult of Personality comes on. All right, whether
I
it's
am
at
too.
Survivor Series or the fucking
No
Rumble,
question.
everybody's gonna lose their fucking minds.
I might break my TV, bro.
So this is the funny thing about Punk is like people will talk all this shit and say all this stuff about it, but then that music hits and everybody's like, oh my god, you know?
Yeah,
So
he's
it's
got
like,
that aura about him, man.
Yeah,
He's just got that.
But he's always had that aura, dude. He's always had that aura. There was always a different, like, there was a thing about him. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was a different thing about him.
No.
You could see it. Like, I remember seeing certain guys when I was younger, and they had that it factor. They had that thing, like him, AJ, Loki, Danielson, you know, Cabana too, man. Cabana could have been fucking big, you know. Christopher Daniels, man, Homicide, like all those guys, yo, Reckless Youth, you know, Quackenbush, like these guys,
Quack.
you know. Trent Acid, you see these guys, you're like, yo, these guys could have been something. Billy Real, you know, like all these dudes, like super fucking talented back then. You know what I'm saying? So, like,
bro,
yeah, man.
I'm calling it right now. Punk comes out in Survivor Series. I'm GTS and my wife. Live.
All right.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here. He incriminated himself for domestic violence. So we
No,
now
man,
have,
this is
we now,
wrestling,
we
bro.
now
It's
have
fake,
the,
man.
we now
It's
have the
fake.
proof of what's going on.
It's wrestling.
Rocky
It's fake.
Rock's joining us tonight. WTF Productions. Thanks for checking out the show, Rocky Rock. We got a big one coming up this weekend. We're gonna have some more details. We'll be dropping it in the Work in the Mark story on Instagram. I would try and read it, but I'll probably fucking botch it because I usually do with these show things. But you know, I don't have the silky tones you do, Macho.
Oh,
You're a little bit better. You know, I could see you calling Monday Night Raw already with the headset and everything. You know.
Oh, let's do it. I'll do it. I'd love it.
Yeah,
I'll call it with Corey Graves. Let's go.
There we go.
Every time he makes a dig at me, I'll talk about how beautiful his wife is.
So check this out. Here's the thing with Corey Graves, right? Like, and I always like to get people's opinions on like how they feel. So there's some people that don't like him, right? I like him. I think he does a good job.
He's got nice hair.
Sometimes I think he goes a little too hard with the Bobby Heenan shit. You know what I'm saying? Like he goes a little too hard with the Bobby Heenan.
Oh,
shit.
thanks a lot, man.
You know what I'm saying? But I think he's good, and I just, you know, the Marks always shit on him a little bit unnecessarily because I think he does a good job with whoever he's working
bro.
with, you know,
It's the hair, man.
I think he's great. He's good for wrestling. We're supposed to have a heel on the table.
But you think about where he's come from, right? Like NXT,
Yeah.
like yo, he lost his career, you know, he couldn't wrestle, and then he goes and he fucking becomes a commentator. And bro, even in NXT, you kind of saw that there was something to him. You know what I'm saying? Like you saw that, like, oh, this guy could be good at this. You know?
Where's he from? Pittsburgh?
Yeah. And he's from the Berg, right? The Berg.
That's what they call Harrisburg out here.
Oh, that's what they call Harrisburg. Is that? Oh, that's how they make it gully. Yo, that's how they G it up. Yo, the Berg. Yo, I'm going to the Berg.
Yeah, that's what they call it out here. Nah, Pittsburgh's just Pittsburgh or the Steel City. That's all it is.
Is it true that they say Jagoff over there? They're like, yeah,
Jagoff.
Yeah, they got it. I'll send you a T-shirt. They got one of those T-shirts where they call it Pittsburghese, and it's like 10 or 15 different phrases that they say here in Pittsburgh like that.
I tried Steel City beer once. It tasted like somebody put a bunch of pennies in water.
You mean Iron City?
Is it
like Icy Light?
I think it's Steel City beer, isn't it?
Oh, I don't know. I never tried it. Icy Light is what sells over here.
That's what they sell over there. Okay.
It's the number one. Yeah, if you go to Primanti Brothers, which is a big Pittsburgh restaurant, it's their number one sandwich is called the Pittsburgher, and it's like it's a pretty good sandwich or whatever with like coleslaw in it and shit. But then it says it's the second best selling thing on the menu, and that's the gimmick. So you ask the waiter or waitress, what's the first thing? And then they say, Icy Light, like beer to get you to buy a beer.
Sounds like a Steel Reserve fucking knockoff.
Steel
The
Reserve.
fuck is Steel Reserve?
Whoa.
That was brutal. Nah, but he was living in PA by that time, So
Yeah.
he had left Hudson County. He didn't understand what we was drinking over here.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
Nah, when I left, people were still mixing Hypnotic with Hennessy, baby.
Ooh. Ooh, that
Listen,
and the MD 2020, the MD
Oh,
2020.
bro, I love that MD 2020. I love that,
That's
bro.
the best.
Buying Georgie's vodka and putting it in your code red.
Ooh, man.
Oh my god. Ugh. Oh man, I just got indigestion thinking about that.
I don't know about that.
Like that super cheap vodka with the fucking
Yeah.
like, kind of juice. I used to, I did that with Everclear one time with Tampico. I bought Tampico, and I put some fucking Everclear in that. Yeah, I
Nah,
never
we're good.
learned. It was always just bad.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
The hangovers just get worse. That's just all.
That's
it
a good
is.
movie. I don't know.
And
Whatever.
I like Todd Phillips' first movie.
Word.
Hated the Gigi Allen documentary.
Oh,
But,
Jesus. Another overrated motherfucker. But let's go on to the next topic here.
Well, you can have me on From the Dungeon and we can talk about that one. But
No,
what do we got in the world of wrestling here?
Yeah, man. Let's talk about wrestling.
All right,
here.
we got this.
Are we going to the pet peeves?
The last topic of the day until we get into the pet peeves is here's your boy Booker T's back on the fucking scene with another fucking mean thing to say where he's like, so what's the win if you get CM Punk?
Wait, what?
Booker T said, what's the win if you get CM Punk? What's the win?
So the full quote is CM Punk has been fired from WWE. He was fired. He didn't quit. He was fired from AEW. He's like, so what's the win for CM Punk coming back to WWE? He's working you, bro. Yeah. Of course he wants CM Punk back. He wants the crowd to think, dude, after he said that today, what was the other report, D, that came out? Was that WWE was sending out to their talent or letting people know that they are not in contact with CM Punk because they want people to be surprised, bro.
Well, you heard in the scrum, they told them all, they were like, if you mention CM Punk to fucking Paul, you're out, and he never coming back.
Yeah. I mean,
I never heard WWE saying that shit.
Bro, because this is going to be a massive shock. They're going to convince everybody that it's not going to happen. Then people are going to go to Chicago and they're not going to expect it. And then, boom, cult of personality is going to hit.
Chicago's already sold out.
Yeah.
Of course.
That doesn't mean those fans aren't CM Punk fans.
But bro, they're creating buzz. They know what they're doing. Like Nakamura doing the GTS last night.
Oh, you saw that?
Yeah.
Ricochet, like, come on, man.
I mean, Kenta did comment on it. He's like, I'll see you at Survivor Series, LOL.
Yeah, no, Lil K, bro. I'm a big fan of Lil K. But yeah, man, they're not gonna give this away. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't understand like what fans are thinking. Like, again, you're dealing with WWE here. This ain't fucking Tony Khan. This ain't this ain't like that. Tony Khan's a different story. He doesn't deal with things in a conventional wrestling sense. He doesn't. He just doesn't.
No.
They're not gonna mention anything about this. They're gonna act like it's like, oh no, we don't want any part of him. We're good. Everything's fine.
He's a cancer.
He's a cancer. What he said, when Nick Khan made that comment, when he said what he said, I was like, yo, something's cooking. Something's cooking because he didn't outright say no, but he also didn't say yeah. He just said, oh, we admire him. We like him. He's a great guy. Good talent. We wish him well. And then everybody ran away with it.
The laryngitis speech.
Yeah. I mean, look, there's a we also have to accept the fact that there is a portion of the audience that does not want to see him go back to WWE. There is.
Why?
Well, because I think that they're emotionally invested in AEW. I think that they're emotionally invested with the Bucks and they're big fans, big marks of those guys. And I think that they feel that if Punk comes back, it kind of enforces the narrative that he was right. You know, it enforces the narrative that he was right, and it enforces the narrative that it's like, well, that was on the Bucks and fucking, and that was on the Elite and fucking Khan. And I think that there's people that perhaps don't want to face the situation or the reality of the matter that, like, yo, they just didn't get along, bro, and they got childish. They tried to get stupid, and Punk fucking stood up for himself, and that's it. That's really what it is. That's really what it boils down to.
And when they gonna admit it, bro? Come on, it's like, you went into the guy's locker room. I'm just gonna keep saying, you went into his locker room and you started a fight with him. It's like walking into somebody's house.
You know what'll be the admission? Yeah. You know what'll be the admission when somebody gets pissed off at AEW now that Punk's gone, and they catch the blame for it, and they leak that all-in footage.
Oh yeah.
Once that footage leaks, then we'll know the truth, because that, Tony Khan doesn't want that footage to leak.
No,
when he's just standing there laughing, like standing there like. And then he just pulls his arm up and goes, as CM Punk's choking out Jack Perry. And then he went out a couple nights later to tell everybody that he feared for his life. Nah, get out of here. We know you were chilling. You love that shit. You were probably clapping, CM Punk. And then the Bucks were like, dude, that's not right. You need to stop that.
But he was set up.
Of course he was.
Come on. He was set up. They knew what they were gonna do. They knew what they had planned for so long. They understood like exactly what it was about for like a while. They knew that they were trying to get him to do something, to piss him off. You know what I'm saying? So that's basically what was going on here. I'm getting jacked for my ginger ale here, but
Christian's ginger ale, Canada Dry.
Canada Dry. So yeah, man. He was just set up, dude. He was set up, and I think that they created this type of situation to push him over the line. No. And if it wasn't Jack Perry, it was gonna be being mad about the flight. It was gonna be being mad about something, and they knew eventually that it was gonna be too much for him, And that's what happened.
Out there, and he tore the house down, though. Him and Samoa Joe tore the house down. They gave us shades of Summer Punk. It was amazing. So,
but I mean, like, it's interesting because I remember going into that show, I was thinking to myself, why isn't that the main event? Because you have two established stars. You have two established stars. Why is that not the main event?
It's kind of like when
they stole the show.
It's kind of like when what was that? When Edge did Edge beat Humberto the first match of a WrestleMania?
Yes, opening match. Like yeah, he beat Alberto Del Rio. Yeah,
Humberto Del Rio.
Mm-hmm.
Was it opening match, or did he wrestle Jericho in the opening match?
No, that was
he
opening match for the heavyweight title, and that was his last match.
Yeah, that was his. That was his last one. Yeah. So
yeah.
I mean, again, like I said, like they were gonna set him up sooner or later, no matter what,
No question.
Sooner or later that was gonna happen. But yeah, dude. Yeah. I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens, man. Like I said, there's a lot of people that don't want to see it happen. I want to see it happen. I think it would be good for wrestling. I think the fans would fucking love it. Let's go. Man. Let's go. And WWE is gonna keep quiet about that shit until it happens. And that's that. And then when it does happen, the internet, everything, it's gonna fucking explode.
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna lose their shit again.
Oh man, that's gonna be topics for weeks.
And let me tell you something. Here's my question. This is my biggest question before we finally get to our main event topic of the evening here. What is Tony Khan gonna do when this happens?
Record it on video.
How is he gonna react to this shit? Because he's
gonna
feel some type of way, dude. He's gonna feel some type of fucking way about this.
I mean, he might get more bodyguards, to protect him.
I don't know about all that, but I think he's gonna become a little more unhinged, and he's gonna start getting a little crazier online.
Yeah.
I don't know. It could happen.
Is he still following Mr. Coach on Twitter? You think?
No, I don't think so. I think that's over.
Oh wow. It looks like full Kana is on at NXT. If you want me to break some news here, I'll let you know what's happening so far on Super Tuesday. Before we jump into the main event topics.
Sure.
All right, so on the NXT side, Cody Rhodes has announced 3 announcements. 1, he is the GM for the rest of the night. 2, the Dusty Classic. And 3, there is another tournament called the Breakout Star. So he did not announce that he will be in any of those. Also announced for tonight, Ilya Dragunov will defend the NXT World Heavyweight Championship against Dominic Mysterio with special guest referee L.A. Knight.
Nice.
So, and then on the AEW side, so far, I believe we're in the midst of the Bryan Danielson Swerve Strickland match. I think I talked about that earlier. I don't know if it was with you, Pat, or if I talked about it with Tyler, that should be the opening match for AEW tonight. That's how they should open the show. I'm glad they listened to the show, by the way. And yeah, and
we'll be blocked soon.
yeah, and then Jon Moxley was actually taken out of his match with Phoenix. He is not medically cleared, and it is now Rey Fenix against the former 31-time defending champ Orange Cassidy tonight for the International Championship.
Cassidy wins.
No question.
He's going to kick him.
31 times? What?
He's defended it 31 times. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
I didn't really know how to say that. Maybe you're better with words.
Oh no! I just didn't know. I was like, damn, he won the title that many times.
No, I think that's only UFC that does that. That every time they defend the title, it makes them like another time champion.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's
So
stupid.
It's a
That's
historic
stupid.
defense thing. Well,
Yeah.
Hey man, we'll see, man. Either way, dude. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you like AEW, WWE. It's a good night for fucking wrestling, man. It's a good night for fans. And yo, like, there was a period in time, folks, we forget that we wanted this shit. We wish we would have had what we have now. So it's great. And it obviously gives us, great stuff to talk about and provides great content for everybody out there like Must Love Wrestling and Working the Marks, available here on Famcast Media.
100%.
You like that
All
shit,
right.
yo? You like that?
I like that. That was fucking dope, man. I like
that shit over like Flair in the 80s. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. You're making Dee's life easier.
There you go.
So what do we got? We got the main event now, right?
Main event now.
Yeah,
the
man.
main event.
Let's do it, baby.
Go.
Yeah!
Uh-oh.
Acknowledge me.
There you go, Patty.
Okay. So, folks, as wrestling fans, like we all have been, if you're obviously watching this show, you've been watching it for a long time. There's things you love. There's things you're super passionate about. There's things you can't stand. And then there's pet peeves for some fans. And in tonight's main event here on Working the Marks, we are going to dissect our biggest pro wrestling pet peeves. Mach, by all means, share your number one or one of your pro wrestling pet peeves.
All right. So my number one pet peeve, or I guess this is no particular order, but one of my pet peeves in professional wrestling is the inability to accept long-term booking by fans. Everybody needs everything microwaved right now. Nobody wants to wait to see what happens. Nobody likes the idea of, like, I'll give you not to shout out Tyler. I don't mean to like bash him on the show, but we've been pretty harsh to Uribe a couple times. So let's just give Tyler a little shot. But like Tyler's biggest complaint he just said to me the other day was that, he was angry that Seth Rollins didn't lose the title to Nakamura. And the first words out of his mouth were, we already have a long-term champion. Why do we need another one? Like, nobody's ever going to lose their title anymore. And I'm thinking, like,
wow,
bro, it's not about you. Like, I don't mean this about Tyler. Like, I love the guy. I just mean, like, in general, that's how wrestling fans think. Like, so people didn't want Shinsuke Nakamura to win the title so he could be, like, the first Japanese world champion. They wanted him to win the world title so Seth could drop it. Like, that's really, that's so frustrating to me. Like, where did wrestling fans go, man? Where the fuck are they doing?
So here, you bring up a fantastic point here, okay? And this is one that I think we talk about pretty regularly.
A lot.
Yeah. Being a prisoner of the moment, thinking that every angle, every match, everything has to have a payoff that night. One show, one fucking thing, that's it. But then these are the same people that are complaining that there's no long-term storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
Every match, every segment, every little tiny thing, no matter how insignificant or impactful, plays a part in telling the larger story. You know what I'm saying? They could have done A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi in one movie. They
Yep.
could have done that shit, but instead they were like, "Fuck this shit.
What about
We're
a
gonna
10-hour
milk this
movie?
shit." Yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna milk this shit. We're gonna get little green motherfuckers. We're gonna get fuzzy little fucking bear looking motherfuckers. We're gonna get all these adorable ass little fucking things, and we're gonna sell the fuck out of them. All right, and we're gonna fucking make a fuck ton of money, and we're gonna create a legacy. And what did they do? What did they do? They created a legacy. So
Tons.
pro wrestling has always been about telling long-term stories. Pro wrestling at its finest, at its
Since I've
absolute
been
finest.
watching it in fucking the 80s, it has.
And being a prisoner of the moment, being a prisoner of one match, or thinking that, well, this guy should drop the title to this guy. Why? Well, because he deserves it. Well, why does he deserve it? Well, because I like him. That's not good criteria.
Mm-mm.
You don't have to like every booking. You can be upset that your guy lost.
Mm-hmm.
I'm upset when any of my teams lose. I think that's pretty obvious. I think that's pretty evident for any sports fan or any fan in general. But you got to understand that with pro wrestling, you're telling stories. Not everything that's going to happen is going to happen on one night. There's a build towards shows. There's a build towards big shows. And then eventually, over a longer period of time, you get your big final payoff. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. There's a lot of people still complaining that Cody Rhodes should have won the fucking title. There's people complaining that Sammy should have won the title.
Man.
There's people complaining that Kevin should have won the title. There's people still saying that Finn should have won the title. There's people
Sting should have won the title.
Now imagine if WWE were to go and do this. If they would have had Sammy beat Roman for the title in fucking Montreal. Where would that have left Cody? Where would that have left that title match? Where would that have left the bloodline? Mm-hmm. What would that have done to what we're to where we're at right now? Like what would have gone on in that subsequent time until now that would have been better than what actually fucking happened?
Hijacking shit.
And I think that really the biggest reason why this exists among wrestling fans is the emotional element of it. The thinking that this is some sort of prestigious shoot fighting organization, that these guys are duking it out and they're going to win this title for the honor of the fans and all this stuff. Yeah, brother, they're trying to make money. They're trying to make money, and they're telling great stories, and they want to be memorable. And Sami Zayn summed it up the best, man. Sami Zayn, very, very fucking intelligent guy, man. He summed it up the best. He said, in an era of content, it's important to be memorable. And that's absolutely true. Because, there's content everywhere for everything. You can go anywhere right now, find content. You could scroll for days. You could doom scroll till your fucking eyes hurt. You're going to find content for whatever it is you want to find content for. But the memorable stuff, that's what sticks around. And that's what counts. And I think that fans getting caught up in one booking and losing their fucking minds, you're only stressing yourself out. Enjoy the ride. That's what it's there for.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this one is a little bit of a ridiculous one. Maybe. It depends, how you look at it. But one of my biggest pet peeves is the term double main event.
I agree.
Like the WrestleMania with Hulk Hogan and Psycho Sid?
I know it's marketing.
That wasn't supposed to be the main event.
I understand that it's marketing, folks. I get that. I understand that. You're trying to put asses in seats. So you want to make things seem way more important than what they are, right? But it's not really technically a double main event, because a double main event will require 2 rings, having 2 matches going on at the same time simultaneously.
That'd be dope.
Okay? That is, in fact, a double main event.
They need to do that.
So the term double main event really, really burns my biscuits, if I'm being 100% honest.
No, I agree with you. I think it's a whack. Like, I think the last time that it worked was Fully Loaded, where we had the triple main event. That's what they called it. It was Undertaker, Kurt Angle, Rock, Benoit, Jericho, Triple H. But what match went on last? Rock and Benoit. That was the main event.
That was the main event.
That was the main event.
There's no such thing as a double main event. I hate when I hear it's a double main event. No, it isn't. No,
yeah.
No, it isn't. Look, it's possible, and I'll give credit to the first promoter that'll do it.
That'll be
Unless
dope.
somebody already has, and I don't know. Gotta ask Jim Cornette. That'll be my fucking lifeline to ask him about wrestling history. But I mean, the term double main event is just marketing. There's no such thing as a double main event. It's a pre-main event. in a main event. There's only one main event. So,
Absolutely.
last match, main event.
No question.
Mach, what's another one?
Fickle fans.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God. Let's talk about
bitches.
Seth Rollins. Yeah,
Bitches.
let's talk about Seth Rollins since we're on the topic and we talk about it now.
Seth, baby.
All right. Let's talk about Seth. That's actually great. That's a great one. All right. So we spent in like what, Pat? Like almost 2 years of people bitching on the internet that Seth Rollins wasn't being used correctly. He loses every single pay-per-view. Seth Rollins should be the guy that should be World Heavyweight Champion. They create the title. They start from scratch. So it's not the old, like the one that Triple H and Sting and, Flair had. It's a brand new World Heavyweight title. He's the champ.
Not to cut you off there real quick, but just a quick pause. But while people were complaining that he should have had a title, he was putting on fucking phenomenal matches.
Yeah.
I mean, we could say that for the better part of 2022, Seth Rollins was the best wrestler of the fucking year, dude.
God.
He was unbelievable. So that's why I had no problem with the PWI 500 for as marquee as that can get. The dude deserves his flowers, man. He's been putting in a shift. So, but
No
yes,
question.
as you were saying.
But okay, so now we're in a spot where it was reported earlier this week that he hasn't lost a match since January 2nd. Okay, and now people that's like Roman Reigns level. Like that's crazy, right? But that's awesome. Like I don't want to see my guy lose.
But
you know what I mean?
Over. He's super
exactly.
Over too.
That's my point. And now all of a sudden everybody's like, "Oh, he's got to drop the title. Like drop the title to this guy. Oh, he's got to drop the title to Finn Balor. Oh, they're screwing Finn Balor." Listen, I'm sorry that your whack ass demon Dolph Ziggler wannabe isn't good enough to beat Seth Rollins, but he's not. All right, Seth Rollins is the guy. Listen, yeah, I mean, let Finn Balor he made his money in Japan. Right now, he's just coasting. He's just being a good worker. He's just being a good dude. He doesn't need a world championship,
bro. He don't need a fucking
you know what? I think it's a little bit simpler than that. I just think it's not his time now. That's it. Like it's not his time. Like he had his time. Unfortunately, he got injured.
Seth injured.
He, in my opinion, has been the best NXT champion, bro. That dude.
Yeah, no question.
No question, bro. Fantastic.
Yeah.
What was better, his first run or second run?
Second run.
Yeah, second run he had fucking so many great matches.
Second run because he didn't depend on the demon. He was Finn Balor. Then he was actually able to do that. But yeah, that's my biggest problem is it's fickle fans. All of a sudden, within like a calendar year, people have turned on Seth Rollins and he hasn't changed a thing, Pat. He's the same outlandish, crazy ass character. Fans in attendance want to sing his song, but everybody on the internet hates him because he's been a champion for too long.
It's silly. And it's been around forever. I mean, let's be honest. Let's be honest. We could go back to the 90s with this shit, man. We could go to the 2000s with this shit. I mean, anytime a guy that was like an underdog or like a dude that people were like, yo, this guy's got it. Like he's got the thing. He gets that shine. He gets that spot. All of a sudden, it's like, well, whatever. It's kind of like whatever. And it's like, yo, just fucking enjoy it. Like, enjoy it and see where it goes. People were complaining for so long that Seth Rollins needed a title. Seth Rollins needed to stop losing. The dude was having amazing matches with everybody. Was put in big spots. Okay. Was really a workhorse for them for a fucking while, man.
Yeah.
And to some extent still is. Okay.
Would you consider him over. Would you consider him like their Macho Man?
I don't know. I think he's his own thing. I don't even want to compare him to anybody, man. I feel like there's so many guys like that now,
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think of Seth Rollins as anybody like he said it best. He didn't want to be the next Shawn Michaels. He wanted to be the first Seth Rollins, and he's accomplished that.
Yeah, man. He's memorable, and for me, the biggest thing with him, I wasn't always a fan, but I was always like, man, this guy's so fucking good in the ring. Like if he just had like a thing, like a character, like just something that like that intangible thing, like the way his wife has the man, Danielson had Punk had the fucking pipe bomb promo, and just his aura. You know what I'm saying? Like he needs that thing.
He's got the backstabber.
Roman's the tribal chief and all that. Like he's the head. That's
of the Carlitos.
All that shit.
No, he stabbed him, and he stabbed fucking Roman Reigns in the back. The backstabber.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, you with backs, man. You're one more back away from mentioning Raquel.
Yeah, Yeah, we got to get him a lap pull down,
Yeah.
He could just do it. But yeah, bro. I mean, I just think that like people got a little too fickle with Rollins, and the guy has been great. His popularity hasn't dwindled. People aren't booing him. Nobody's fucking quiet when he comes out. They're all fucking singing the song. They're all into him. They're all into what he's wearing. Like this, I feel like he's just become so much more well-rounded once he found that character. Like once he started with Drip King shit and started doing his thing, I was like, yo, he found it. He found that fucking thing that he needed. And it took him somewhere else, So
he's like John Morrison to the next level.
Nah, man. Even then, he's his own thing.
He's oozing machismo.
You know what I'm saying? He's his own thing. And I just think he's doing such a great job. And I think that fans should appreciate it. Fans should enjoy it, right? Because inevitably he is going to lose the title. I mean, that's going to happen, right?
Yeah, probably a crown jewel.
Maybe not. Maybe not, though. Maybe not.
I mean, maybe not, but I haven't seen anybody that's actually stuck out to me as somebody that could actually beat him. This makes sense.
And I'll be honest, I don't want Priest to cash in just yet because I feel like the way they're teasing it, it looks like there's a probability that it's going to fail. And I just feel like Priest deserves it.
Now, let me ask you something here, Patty Norican and Macho Rodriguez, the two Puerto Ricans that should be fucking the #1 fucking tag team in the universe.
Okay.
Now, just sometimes I don't even know what the fuck I'm saying, dude. But
it's amazing.
No, it's good. It works off great.
But now, if Punk beats Rollins, right? Do you think that fucking Priest would look stronger beating Punk for the title or beating Rollins for the title?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, Punk would be a bigger one because he's a name. But like, I just think it's like it all depends what they want to do, man. You know what I'm saying? I would have him hold on to it. I'd have him hold on to it, and I would tease the fuck out of it for so long. Until like people just like are like, whatever, and then that's when you bust it out again and you have them win, and then people be like, oh my god, because people always get up for the cash-ins. Always. Always get up for the cash-ins. So but I'm with you, man. I think the fickle nature of fandom really ruins a lot of things. I think far too often fans imagine something to be completely different than what it is when it happens, and anything that happens, even if it's something that's good, they can't really recognize it because it's not the way they wanted it. So they're always just going to have a complaint. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't understand how people look at what WWE's done in the last 2 to 3 years and say that it's been bad. It's been just a majority bad. Like, it hasn't. I mean, look, have there been misses here and there? Sure, there's misses everywhere. There's misses from the Attitude Era. There's just some things that just are not going to get over. No matter how much you try, no matter how much you want it to work, it's just not going to happen.
No.
But for the most part, everything that they've done has just been fucking great, man. And Seth Rollins being champion was something that was coming. And we'll see. We'll see where it goes. But I mean, in the meantime, bro, enjoy the matches, man, because the guy's a fucking top talent.
He's doing unbelievable. People just need to relax. Just relax. I also want to say that I'm predicting when Damian Priest is going to cash in his Money in the Bank. By the way,
when do you think that is?
The next Puerto Rico show. It's within a year. It's within a year. The way that they feel about Puerto Rico, since they want to go back every year, I would not be surprised if that's where he cashes in.
Either that or Carlito wins the title there.
What title? What title? Hold up. Oh my God, he's dreaming of fucking heart race. All right.
Can we just also take a moment to put over Carlito, man? Because he
God,
fucking brawler.
Yo, my God, looks amazing. Yo,
dude, he's gonna get a push, man. He's gonna get a push because he's a dude that you look at and you're like, man, like this guy, like he really could have been something big,
He's cool.
He still can be, and he's got a spot. So let's see what happens. So my number one pet peeve, my last pet peeve for the evening is.
Or what about Macho? Hold on, Macho.
I think it kind of piggybacks off of all the other ones that we've talked about thus far. And I think it's one that kind of boils your blood. Sure as heck boils my blood. But nothing really gets under my skin like a Mark saying, "This is bad booking." Bad booking. That's not good booking. That's not the way you do it. That's not this. That's not that. No, it is. Because number one, you're super fucking emotional. And number
Yes.
two, you know shit about how to book a show. You have no experience in the wrestling business. You don't know what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure that this is one that resonates with you, Mach. I will allow you to have the opening statement, and I would like to put a nice ribbon on that one.
Yeah. So when people say there's bad booking, I always ask myself, what do you mean? So I'm going to use the current tag team champion in both companies. Right now, it is being a shitstorm on the internet wrestling community that AEW and WWE don't care about tag team wrestling anymore. And this is just such bad myself. Like, the tag titles being on Cody Rhodes and Jay is the best thing for business right now. They're the two hottest stars on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
How is that bad booking? And then Ricky Starks and Big Bill, it's not about Big Bill. It's about Ricky. It's about getting Ricky over.
Right.
Say that name again. What's his name?
Big Bill. Oh
I feel like
God.
they haven't been able to find a good name for this guy. Like Big Cass was like the peak of
That was it.
of him having a good name. And even then you're like, Big Cass?
Why is it gotta be? Why is
You
everything
know?
gotta be big with him?
I don't know.
I mean, he is tall. He's fucking 7 feet tall, and apparently you can't teach that. So
You can't.
But
Yeah,
you were saying, Mach.
I just wonder to myself, like, and I agree with you. It's the one thing I come back to, and I hate to be that person. Like, I don't really do that when people argue with me about professional wrestling, and they're like, "Oh, it's so easy," and I'm just like, "Take a bump." Like, I don't really do that. But in this point, for this point, I agree with you that if you've never booked the show, shut the fuck up. You have no idea what's happening. You don't know why it's happening. You can't call it bad booking just because you don't like it. There's probably millions of people across the world that love it, that are super happy. There's going to be little kids dressed up as Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso, and they're going to be walking around with those Target little tag titles. So that's not bad booking if children are dressing up as these people.
No, not at all. Not at all. And you know, the thing that gets me is it's like they don't know how to book tag teams. They don't care about tag team wrestling. What main evented one of the nights of WrestleMania?
Tag team.
Tag team
title
wrestling.
match, right? What main evented Monday Night Raw last night?
Tag team.
Tag team.
Two of the biggest stars, if not the two biggest baby faces in the business and in the company are in it. Okay? That's not good business. That's not caring about tag team wrestling. Why? Because the team that you like lost? No, man.
Yeah, that's
Viking Raiders.
Like, that's just what it is. That's just what it is. But everybody's time comes, man. That's the thing. And the cream always rises to the top in the business. And the best people always end up exactly where they need to be. And that's a fact. That's a fact, man. But to say that something's bad booking, you could say, yo, I don't like it. I don't like it. I didn't like that. You know what I'm saying? But to say that it's bad booking, what do you know about booking? How do you know how to book a show? Do I walk into a fucking operating room when somebody's doing heart surgery and go, hey, listen, pal, you know, you're kind of using that scalpel wrong. Let me show you how it's done. No. Why? Because I saw it on the Discovery Channel, or I watched the YouTube video on how to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous, bro. Do I show up in an airport and just be like, hey, listen, man, American Airlines pilot, I'm gonna fly it. Don't worry about it, bro. I got this. I seen Fast and the Furious, like all of them. They're all about family.
Yeah, I'll watch Catch Me If You Can. I could do it. Yeah.
You know,
There
two
you go.
mice fell in a bucket of cream. The first mouse, he died. He drowned.
Yeah. I know why you're coming. I see it. Where's your dog?
But the second mouse, he churned that cream into butter.
Yeah. You're talking to my guy all wrong. Yeah.
Oh man. But yeah, man. Love the walking. But yeah, dude, you know, it's just so fucking lame because it's like, you know, if you don't like the show and you don't like what they're doing, don't watch it. You feel me?
Yeah.
Don't watch it. It's not that difficult. It's not that difficult. If you don't like something, don't watch it. Nobody's forcing anybody to watch anything. Okay.
Exactly.
I'll be honest, for the most part, I don't really like AEW. I don't watch all of their stuff. I watch certain matches with certain talents that I like there because they do have a lot of talent that I like there. You
Agreed.
know? I appreciate what they're doing for wrestling. I think it's cool, but it's not for me. You know what I'm saying? I'll tune in. I'll watch the fucking matches that I like, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not saying it. Well, yeah, I do say it's bad booking, but it is bad booking, because it's an inexperienced guy. It's a different thing. I don't look at Impact and say that's bad booking, because Impact's doing something else. I don't even look at NWA and say that, but that's the one company that, from a business perspective, whatever. But you understand, they're trying to book for hardcores. They're trying to book for marks. So I get that, but I just think it's incredibly arrogant. And I think, to me, more than anything else, it's insulting to people like Bruce Pritchard, to people like Triple H, to people like Shawn Michaels, to people that actually are a part of a creative team, Michael P.S. Hayes, people like that, man, people who've paid dues, people who've sacrificed for the business, people who've been injured for this business, you know what I'm saying? People who fucking love it, live it, breathe it, and will die it probably, you know what I'm saying? That's how much they're so invested. So when I see fans that are like, that's not good booking, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about, he's an idiot. Like, man, shut up, bro. He's forgotten more about wrestling than you'll ever know. Zip the lip, jabroni.
There you go.
Straight up. But look, man, this is gonna happen, and this is just gonna be a part of wrestling. Whether it's now, 20 years from now, whatever, people will always think whatever they're gonna think, and they're always gonna think that they know more than the people that are there. And I hate to break the news to you, you don't.
Exactly. 100%.
So, folks, we appreciate you being with us here tonight. Is this on Facebook?
Yes, sir.
This is on
it's on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch.
No Twitter though. I went to change the handle on Twitter, and I got bopped off. So yeah, Twitter.
Oh, you got blocked too?
No, I didn't get blocked. Fernando has like some
Punk,
kind of
we'd love to have you on whenever you want.
Fernando has some kind of super duper fucking.
What, Elon Musk? You want to have him on here? Let's bring him on here. That'd be cool.
Bring him on, folks.
That sounds like a bad cologne. What is that? Elon Musk?
Ooh.
Isn't the guy who runs Twitter? See if he can get us verified.
X gonna give it to you.
Oh, yeah.
But no, folks, we appreciate you being with us tonight.
Always.
And wherever you're watching us, whether it's on Facebook, YouTube, whatever, the various other shit that they just mentioned and named. But we appreciate you tuning in. Thankfully, nobody commented or said anything stupid or misspelled anything. And this was just another good episode, chatting it up here. Folks, feel free to write us. Sharing is caring. Subscribe. Tell a friend. Tell your mother. Tell your mother's best friend. Let them know. Working the marks. Must love wrestling. Styling and profiling. Doing our fucking thing here every week for you people, man. And providing you some interesting wrestling conversations. So,
yeah, man.
Spread the love. Mach, anything you want to plug before we part company this evening?
Yeah, man, if you guys want to continue the conversation with me over on Must Love Wrestling, you can, or you can follow me on TikTok. It's BORICUA.LOU, and you can follow me on there. I post daily content about anywhere from 5 to 10 videos a day. Sometimes I share them on the YouTubes because the producer makes me.
Yeah.
And, yeah, anytime you guys want to talk, you can come on there and talk to me. It's easy for me to interact with you. It's become my number one app to use in terms of professional wrestling. And yeah. Oh, look, we got another run-in. Ooh, Baby Skeletor.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, folks, give Mach a follow. Check out all of his great stuff. He's churning out lots and lots and lots of great content.
Like butter.
Mi gente. Mi gente.
Mi gente.
Dee, did you put it together? You put together the Mi gente reel?
Oh, yeah. It's a Mi gente collection.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's up there.
Unbelievable, man.
But he has too many Mi gentes, bro. It's like he's got like over 100-something Mi gentes, man.
Yeah, bro, that's my catch line,
Holy
bro.
crap.
Let me get that shit tattooed on my neck here, like that movie, No Regrets.
No regrets, mi gente. You should get a mi gente face tattoo right underneath your eye. Like,
Yeah, mi gente. Yeah, there you go.
That'll look great in like 30 years. That'll look awesome.
Yeah. A fucking 79-year-old man just rocking this, Be like, what's that say? I fucking mean it, what says?
I think the biggest, really the biggest victory in all of this is that we got a guy as white as Dave to say mi gente.
That's awesome. I love it.
Dave's lily white. Dave is almost translucent. That's how white.
And
he
I'm
is.
4'5".
Nah, yo, this motherfucker called his wife a cabrón before we turned on the shows.
Oh man,
he's like, hold on a minute. He called his wife a cabrón. He's like, yo, it's in every language.
That is amazing. That is amazing. Well, D is multilingual. He's a cunning linguist, some might say. But D,
Oh shit.
we thank you for all your great work here. D, you want to plug anything from Candyland over there in that little window you're at?
It's plugging the butts of every fucking wrestling fan out there every fucking Tuesday or Wednesday. Go out and check out everything from Working the Marks. Check out Famcast Media. Check out Pigs Radio. Check out Fernando Podcast. Check out fucking Must Love Wrestling. Check out A Fool. Check out all the shows on Famcast, bro. Show some fucking love.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, boy. Well, folks, we appreciate you tuning in. We look forward to coming back with more great wrestling content next week. And again, check out all the shows here on Famcast Media. We'll be bringing you more content as the year comes to an end. He is Demon Rotten. He is Macho Rodriguez. And I am Patty New Yorican, legendary wise ass and lovable jerk. And every week here on Famcast Media, we are working the marks. See you next week, Marks. Bye-bye.
Famcast Media.